Have you ever felt like life is moving forward, but somehow you are standing still? Like everyone around you is getting ahead, achieving their dreams, building their future, and you're just waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for motivation, waiting for confidence, waiting for the right time. If that sounds familiar, then this story is for you. Because what you're about to hear might completely change the way you look at your life. There was once a young man named Daniel. Daniel had dreams, big dreams. He wanted to start a business. He wanted to become successful. He wanted to make his family proud. And every night before sleeping, he imagined the life he wanted. A beautiful home, financial freedom, a meaningful purpose, a life he could be proud of. But there was one problem. He never started. Every day he told himself the same thing. Tomorrow I'll work on my goals. Tomorrow I'll begin. Tomorrow I'll change my life. Tomorrow became next week. Next week became next month. And before he realized it, years had passed. One day, Daniel met an old man sitting on a park bench. The old man looked ordinary, nothing special, but there was something peaceful about him. Daniel sat beside him. After a few minutes, the old man asked, "Why do you look so sad?" Daniel sighed. He told him everything, his dreams, his fears, his frustrations. And then he said something that many people secretly say to themselves. "I think I'm waiting for the right moment." The old man smiled. Then he asked a simple question. What if the right moment never comes? Daniel was silent. The old man continued. Most people spend their lives waiting. They wait until they have more money. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until fear disappears. But life doesn't reward those who wait. Life rewards those who move. Daniel listened carefully. The old man picked up a small seed from the ground. He held it in his hand and said, "This seed could become a giant tree, but only if it enters the soil. If it waits for perfect weather, perfect conditions, and perfect certainty, it will remain a seed forever." That sentence hit Daniel like lightning, because suddenly he realized something. His biggest problem wasn't failure. It wasn't lack of talent. It wasn't lack of opportunity. His biggest problem was hesitation. He had been waiting for permission from the world. Permission that was never going to come. That night, Daniel made a decision. Not a huge decision, not a dramatic decision, a small one. He would take one step, just one. The next morning, he woke up early. He spent 30 minutes working on his goal. That's it, 30 minutes. Nothing extraordinary. But something had changed. For the first time in years, he had started. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. The progress was slow, sometimes painfully slow. There were days he felt discouraged, days he wanted to quit, days when it seemed like nothing was working. But he kept moving, one step, one day, one effort at a time, and slowly the impossible began to happen. His confidence grew, not because he succeeded, but because he showed up again and again and again. Here's something most people never realize. Confidence is not something you get before action. Confidence is something you earn through action. The brave are not fearless. They simply move despite fear. The successful are not always talented. They're often just consistent. And the people who change their lives are not necessarily smarter. They simply refuse to stop. Before we continue, if this message is speaking to you, if you've ever struggled with self-doubt, procrastination, or feeling stuck, consider subscribing to the channel. This community is built for people who want more from life, people who are ready to grow, people who are ready to become the best version of themselves. And if that's you, we'd love to have you here. Years later, Daniel returned to that same park. The old man was there, sitting on the same bench, watching the world go by. Daniel smiled and thanked him. The old man looked surprised. "For what?" he asked. Daniel replied, "For changing my life." The old man shook his head. "No, I didn't change your life. You did. All I did was remind you that movement is more powerful than waiting. And that's the lesson." The lesson isn't that life suddenly becomes easy. It doesn't. The lesson isn't that success happens overnight. It won't. The lesson is this: your future is built by the actions you take today, not tomorrow, not next month. Today, every great achievement started as a small step. Every successful person was once a beginner. Every masterpiece began as an empty page. Every journey began with a single decision. The truth is, you don't need to know every answer. You don't need perfect confidence. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need permission. You only need enough courage to take the next step, because action creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates transformation. And transformation creates the life you've been dreaming about. So let me ask you one final question. What is that one thing you've been postponing? That dream, that goal, that conversation, that opportunity, that change. What if today was the day you finally stopped waiting? What if today was the day your story changed? What if years from now, you look back on this exact moment and realize it was the beginning of everything? Remember this: the perfect moment does not exist. The perfect conditions do not exist. The perfect version of you does not exist. But today exists. This moment exists. This opportunity exists. And that is more than enough. Take the first step, no matter how small, no matter how imperfect. Just begin, because the life you've been waiting for may be waiting for you to move first. Thank you for watching. Believe in your potential, trust your journey, and never underestimate the power of one small step. We'll see you in the next video.